And welcome. This is Newsstop with Denise, Scott, and London. And today I will be talking about mental health and love. Miss London is not here today. Um, so I hope that you guys can get some beneficial information. I started my advocate journey um, about 5 or 7 years ago. My daughter uh, was in high school, 11th to 12th grade, and she had a pseudo seizure, and it was brought on from stress. So I tried to learn as much as I could because she was also diagnosed as having PTSD and some other issues. Um, and I really wanted to be there. I wanted to know how to listen. I wanted to know what the triggers were. I wanted to be able to uh, not just be an advocate and a voice for the voiceless, as they say, but also to let people know that it's okay to seek help. Um, it's okay to say that you're not okay because sometimes, especially as adults and parents, we don't know how to, I can't say be there for our kids, but we're so caught up in being so busy with work, our jobs, our own dreams and aspirations that we just, you know, sometimes drop the ball. And there are so many signs and triggers out there. Listen for I'm lonely, I'm tired, I'm miserable, I'm sad. Those are some of their trigger words. Um, and again, it's important to just listen to them, especially if they're in elementary school and middle school, and you see that they're just non-stop talking. They can't stop talking. Or they always coming up to you, say, hey, play with me, or can you talk to me? It's important to put down that job, that book, that activity, whatever it is that you're doing, and just listen. Because if you listen, you can hear so much that's going on in their world that they're trying to express to you. So that was an important part of my journey with my daughter, as well as her friends, because sometimes her friends would come to me and I would know things about them and their personal life, like if they was bisexual, if they was having an issue at school, if someone was bullying them. I would know sometimes before the parents would. So it's important to just listen and to pay attention to what your kid is saying and their surroundings and who they're hanging out with. Another thing, if you see someone with a sweater on and it's summertime and it's hot, they're I wouldn't say self-medicating, but they're hurting themselves so that they won't feel the pain that's inside of their brain. Now, with that being said, again, there's so many different types of depression. There's bipolar depression. There's PTSD. There's borderline schizophrenia and borderline bipolar. So you need to be seen by a professional. I'm just going to say that because everybody don't know that they have certain triggers and um, issues going on with them. They just feeling sad or they just feeling mad all the time and angry. That is a sign as well. If you can't let go of those emotions. Um, Another thing that you can do is try to find outlets. If it's joining a karate class, if it's taking crafts, if it's sewing, if it's reading a book, if it's finding a community on Facebook or another platform, find you a tribe. Not just so that you can be heard, but you can also find out different ways that you can cope with what you have. Because again, everybody is different and everyone has their own ways of coping with what they're dealing with. But when you have thoughts of suicide, that's when you know that you should try to seek help, because it's not you that want to end your life. It's those emotions and those feelings. And sometimes people do call them demons because they're hearing voices in their head that they're not good enough, that they're not worthy of living. So if you have voices in your head, just understand that that's not you, and you really don't want to hurt yourself, but those emotions is something that you want gone. And for some people, that's just a way to release all of that is going on inside of their mind, because some people just can't handle it. And My daughter has been on her own journey. I have my own journey with depression as well. I'm not just talking about my daughter, but there's so many people in my family that don't know that they have it, and they turn to drugs or alcohol, um, and just not living their best life. And people with depression, or people with bipolar, or people with uh, anger issues, you can get help and you can find ways to cope with, if that's something that you truly know that you need to do for yourself. Suicide is not the way to do it. Suicide is not the way to end that pain and that suffering, because so many people around you care for you and love you. And I hope that this, what I'm saying, helps someone. I'm always here. Again, I've learned as much as I can, not just because of my daughter and her friends and the people around me in my community, but I like to know what to watch out for. I like to know if there's somebody's having a bad day. You can tell by their expressions, by the words that they say. Maybe that's something that you can say and do to help them just have a better day, just by putting a smile on their face and saying, okay, I'm going to be okay. You know, um, and there are so many people that can benefit from the stories that we tell about our own pain, our own demons, our own trials and tribulations. For me, affirmations help so much. I say affirmations every day, because it's a way for me to battle what I have. Um, and with that being said, if you guys ever have any questions, concerns, or comments, please drop them in the comments. I will be happy to answer the best way that I can. And if I can't answer it, I am one to go research in a heartbeat for you, okay? Because I want to be there for people. I want people to understand that no matter what you're going through, just reach out. You know, if it's not to a church member, to a family member, to your teacher, a counselor, reach out to someone. Sometimes it could be a stranger on the bus. You just have to break down and just have somebody listen to you. And sometimes if you're talking to a stranger, they can't put in their 2 cents, or they're not projecting their emotions and their feelings onto you, because sometimes that is a problem. Sometimes people just want you to listen and to hear their pain and their suffering, and that be enough. And that is another thing that I would like to talk about. As far as children and teenagers are concerned, don't tell them to get over it. Don't do that. No matter how old they are, if you see that they have been lying in the bed for weeks on end and they haven't taken a bath, or they don't want to eat, they don't want to socialize, that is something that you need to be sensitive with. How you say what you say does matter. How you say something to a depressed person can put them over the edge, where they feeling that they're unworthy, that they're not good enough. Um, and yeah, you might be talking to a teenager, you might be talking to a grown person, but they don't hear the words. They hear the words that you're saying, but it comes out a little bit different when they're processing it in their mind. That is something that I had to learn with my daughter and myself and my husband and my sons. It's how you say what you say that can turn their frame of mind around, or you can trigger them so bad that they just close up even worse, or they lash out even worse. I always say what you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're trying to help that child, or that teenager or adult, and you have to be angry with your words, or you have to be, in such a tone or way, they're not going to take that well. And some, they close themselves up. Sometimes you're just making it worse, and you don't even know it, because in your mind you think that you're helping them by saying get over this, or you can do better than that. In their mind, they're not processing that the way that you're telling it to them. And that is something that I had to learn the hard way. So yeah, that is something else that I learned along the way. But again, if there's anything that I can do for you, or be for you, please let me know. Again, my name is Denise Scott, and this is the News Stop. My name is Denise Scott and Miss London. I thank you all for watching and tuning in. Um, and again, if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please let us know and drop them in the comments. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep going because